Hello guys, this is Don's Movies, and welcome to the 48th episode of the World of Warcraft lore Q&As. Now in this video, I will be answering some of the questions that you guys have left in the previous video, and if you'd like to get your questions answered, you can send them by YouTube comment section or Facebook and Twitter. Now I can't guarantee that I will feature them, but I can try to reply to them, and if I don't, just feel free to post them again in YouTube comment section. Just send them my Facebook and Twitter and I will try to do my best. So, without further ado, let's just get into the actual questions. So the first question is by ErogGG1N4Tor. Yeah, sorry if I mispronounced that. Maybe I'm supposed to read that as Rog1N4Tor. I'm not like certain. So the question is, I've been wondering this for a while. Those two guardians that are holding the swords and wearing hoods at the login screen. Who are they? They appear every so often around Azeroth, on the Dark Portal, statues and so on. First, I thought it had something to do with the Burning Legion since they appear on the first Dark Portal, but they even appear on the newly made portal made by the Iron Horde, which really confuses me. Now, this question has been a mystery pretty much since the Burning Crusade, or maybe even since they first featured the portal, since we first saw the portal. So, a lot of people have different speculations and ideas what they can be. Some say it's the figures of Medivh, because Medivh was kinda responsible. Some say it's one of the orc warlocks for the Shadow Council. I know orcs are kinda more different shaped than the humans, but not all orcs are muscled as they are in the game, so it could be orc warlocks as well. But honestly, so far, no one really knows, and I think the real story behind that is that they just thought about putting a few pillars, and they thought that would suck. And if you're trying to make an epic portal, you don't just want to put like a box and make it like a portal. They wanted to kind of make it epic, so they tried to kind of spice it up and add like two guardians of the portal, like two hooded mysterious statues. Now in the end, they didn't really think too much about the story, and I know for a fact that Blizzard like 10 years ago didn't really even care too much about being like super strict lore-wise or checking facts. So now they do have a lot of loopholes here and there in the lore, especially now in Worlds of Draenor, since they're fixing a lot of those loopholes right now. But I can see why this is confusing, especially now, since why would an orc build a human like hooded figure if it's like the Iron Horde? They haven't probably even seen the humans like ever, and it doesn't really make too much sense. But as I said, it's mostly a design thing, and I hope that one day we will get like a full official lore explanation. Alright, next question is by Ethan, and he asks, I have questions about the berserkers. Are they race specific? And what type of armor would they wear? I only ask this since there's a recent berserker craze going on about my server, Argent On. Alright, so they are kind of race specific, honestly, and they're mostly just trolls, as I don't really remember like seeing anything like gnome berserkers or anything like that, so mostly just those types of races that like have like this sort of built-in rage, like the orcs and the trolls. Now the troll berserkers are the most well known because of their power of regeneration, so they can just get into combat and lose their mind and not really care about the outcome, which pretty much just gives them like a surge of power and they become stronger, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Usually they don't really need too much armor as they're pretty much empowered and they're stronger, and as I said, I don't really care about the outcome. On the other hand, orcs can also be berserkers, as I said, as they have their bloodlust and their rage thing. Now the orcs are kind of similar to the trolls, although they can go about it in both ways. They can either be like heavily armored or unarmored, just kind of depends really. And those are just kind of the most well known. I believe some other races can also do it. For example, even the less popular, like the Vrykul. I've seen some Vrykul berserkers, although they do seem kind of like a race that should be capable to do so because they're pretty kind of war hungry, and they also have like the entire war mentality, so being a berserker would kind of fit them. Alright, next question is by Rokar, and he asks, is there an entity that is stronger than Sargeras? If so, what and how would the said entity compare to Sargeras? Alright, so I don't think there has ever been a Q&A yet where I haven't like mentioned Sargeras, the Burning Legion, Old Gods or Sylvanas, but those are mostly the questions that you guys send, and that's mainly why I answer them. So the entire kind of area is unknown yet highly intriguing, so I guess that's why so many people are wondering about it. So on the actual question, I wouldn't say there is like a known entity out there, as Sargeras is a titan and titans are known as like the strongest creatures out there. Plus he's also corrupted, which probably makes him even a bit more powerful than the average titan, when you take into consideration that he was one of the strongest titans out there, even when he was still good and was with titans. So maybe when he got corrupted, it even empowered him more, even though he was strong before. So some people would probably say some of the old gods, but I don't really think that is the case, and the only creatures that I can see being more powerful than Sargeras himself would maybe be one of the other titans, as you don't really know too many of them that could be more powerful than him, so you can probably figure out like a new titan that can be like stronger than Sargeras, and we'll try to hunt him down. Alright, next question is by Gregory, and he asks, hello Doran, I have two questions. First, as you know, a South Seas expansion could be a future expansion, and of course Kul'Tiras would appear. Do you think that the humans of Kul'Tiras would have conflicts with the humans of Stormwind? Also, do you think the humans of Kul'Tiras would accept the Worgens? Second question, over the past 3 expansions, the Troll of Zandalar have attempted so many times to start a major conflict, and do you think the Trolls would ever side with the Naga if true war came all out? And also I think if it happens, it would be an emotional moment for Vol'jin. Alright, so I don't really think there will be like an exact South Seas expansion, like it will be possible, but maybe if you get like the Eye of Ashara and like more of these underwater zones, they could like add Kul'Tiras in like a patch thing, and I don't think that they would really have conflicts with the humans of Stormwind, and since they aren't really trading anymore or aren't even strong or have like a strong navy, they would probably seek refuge and try to join the alliance, and I don't really think they would care too much about the Worgen because they would probably care more about their own existence. Now on the second question, the entire troll patch thing has kind of been a tradition that Blizzard had in every expansion so far, but I don't feel like they will do it this time, as time after time they were destroyed and I don't really think many of them are left. But even if they do gather enough forces for Worlds of Draenor and then get destroyed again, I really don't think how any of them would be left for like a Naga expansion. And it is kinda hard to speculate if they would join the Naga, because, I mean, it's not like they care about morals or anything like that, so if they had a chance to join them, they would probably join them. So I don't really see that much of a problem with it. But another thing is, the Trolls do hate like the Night Elves, and the Naga are kinda the Night Elves, so they could see a problem with that, but honestly, since they're trying to pretty much just conquer the world, they wouldn't really care about joining them if the Naga would help them. Alright, and the last question is by Garaman the Fire Mage, and he asks, why can't classes that can be priests be paladins? Because a paladin is essentially a warrior that has powers of a priest, and every class can be a warrior, so why would classes that can be priests not be paladins? Alright, so there are two main issues with that, or at least just one, because the other problem is just the fact that they choose to be a priest. The thing is, a lot of races can actually be priests, but not all of them are holy priests and worship the holy light. For example, trolls worship the Loa and their priests, while Taurens are pretty much sun druids. And then you have the Forsaken, who are also confusing, as they're mostly shadow, but a few of them actually practice the light, even though it does hurt them, so it's kinda hard to do. So I guess they could probably be paladins, but there's so little of them that actually do it, so I don't think they would actually be able to be paladins. So it's mainly that, but the question is, why would you be a priest if you can be a paladin, if you're like a human for example? And the answer is pretty much because they choose to do so. I mean, if you aren't good at fighting and you want to be like a caster, it's completely your choice. And that would pretty much be the same thing as asking why would you be a rogue when you can be a warrior. Like, some people might prefer stealth and light weapons instead of close quarter heavy weapon and armor combating, or being a mage instead of being like a warrior or something like that. So it's pretty much a racial thing and kind of a thing of choice. Alright, so that is all I have for this Q&A. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to leave your questions by YouTube comment section, Facebook and Twitter, and if I don't respond to them, either by messages or if I don't feature them in the next Q&A, feel free to paste them again, and I will try to do my best to answer all of them. Also, don't forget to like, favorite and subscribe, as it really helps out the channel and keeps everything going and pretty much the channel growing. And the more the channel grows, the more time I'll be able to put into the channel and pretty much work more on the videos and improve the quality. Also, don't forget to check out my Twitch.tv stream, as I stream there a few times a week, multiple games, and you can also ask me all sorts of questions. Thanks so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video, and see you next time.